You know that feeling when you check your bank account and your stomach just drops? That quiet panic when you realize there's more month left than money. That moment when you're sitting in your car, staring at your phone, doing the math in your head over and over again, hoping somehow the numbers change. They don't, and you already know they won't. That was my life, and if you're watching this right now, there's a good chance it's yours too. Here's the thing nobody talks about. It's not that you're bad with money. It's not that you're lazy or irresponsible or don't care. You care deeply. You lose sleep over it. You've tried budgeting apps. You've told yourself this month will be different. You've watched the numbers, cut things back, made sacrifices that hurt, and still somehow ended up right back where you started. Stressed. Stuck. Wondering if this is just how it is for people like you. It's not. I promise you it is not. And before I tell you the habits that completely flipped my financial life around, I want you to know something. The information I'm about to share with you is the foundation. It's real, it's powerful, and it works. But if you want to go deeper, if you want a structured path that takes you from where you are right now to somewhere you actually feel safe and free, we have related programs linked down below in the video description. These are not for everyone. And honestly, if you're comfortable staying exactly where you are financially, don't even bother looking. But if you are done with the cycle, if you are tired of hoping and trying and falling back, take a look sooner rather than later because opportunity doesn't wait for perfect timing. Now let's get into this. The first habit that changed everything for me was something so simple it felt almost insulting when I first heard it. Pay yourself first, not your rent, not your car, not your groceries, you. Before a single dollar goes anywhere else, you take a piece of it and you set it aside for your future self, even if it's small. Even if it feels pointless. I remember when I started doing this, I was putting away such a tiny amount each month that it felt like a joke, like I was playing pretend at being financially responsible. But here's what nobody tells you about that tiny amount. It doesn't stay tiny, it grows, and more importantly, it does something to your brain. It tells your nervous system that your future matters, that you are worth protecting, and that shift, that psychological shift, it changes how you see every dollar after that. 3 months in, I had a cushion. Small, yes, but mine. And when an unexpected expense hit, and they always hit, I didn't spiral, I didn't panic, I handled it. That was the first time in years I handled something financially without feeling like the floor was falling out from under me. But wait, because here is where most people get it completely wrong. They think saving means suffering. They think financial discipline means living like a monk, cutting out every joy, every coffee, every small pleasure that makes life feel worth living. And so they never start, or they start and quit because it feels like punishment. The truth is the opposite. Real financial change doesn't feel like restriction. It feels like relief. It feels like breathing room you didn't know you were missing. Here is the second habit. Automate everything you can. Your savings, your bills, your investments. Remove yourself from the equation as much as possible. Because willpower is unreliable. It runs out. It gets tired. It cracks at the end of a long day when you're emotional and you just want to feel something good for 5 seconds and suddenly you've spent money you didn't plan to spend. Automation doesn't have emotions. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't negotiate. You set it up once and it works for you silently in the background every single month. People who consistently build wealth are not necessarily more disciplined than you. They have systems that do the discipline for them. I want you to sit with that for a second. Because it means this is not a character flaw. You are not broken. You just haven't had the right structure yet. The third habit flipped everything. I stopped asking how much does this cost and started asking what does this cost me in hours of my life. Think about it this way. If something costs you $100 and you make $20 an hour, that is 5 hours of your life. 5 hours away from your family. 5 hours of stress and deadlines and giving your energy to someone else's dream. Is it worth 5 hours of your life? When I started seeing money through that lens, my spending changed instantly. Not because I forced myself to stop buying things, but because things stopped feeling worth it. The emotional pull disappeared. That impulsive purchase that used to feel exciting suddenly felt heavy when I converted it into hours of my life I would never get back. And that is the thing about financial transformation that nobody warns you about. It changes you from the inside out. You don't just have more money, you have more clarity. You make decisions differently. You see the world differently. Now here's where the story gets real. Most people who struggle financially are not struggling because they earn too little. They are struggling because their money has no direction. It comes in, and it immediately escapes. It disappears into 100 different directions, and by the end of the month you have nothing to show for it except a vague memory of where it might have gone. The fourth habit that changed my life was giving every single dollar a job before the month even started. Not a rigid spreadsheet that makes you want to cry, just a simple, clear intention. This dollar goes here, this dollar does this. No dollar is left wandering without purpose. When money has purpose, it stops disappearing. And when it stops disappearing, something miraculous happens. It starts accumulating. And when it starts accumulating, you start to feel something you may not have felt about money in a long time. Maybe ever. Hope. Real, tangible, this is actually working hope. The fifth habit is the one people resist the most, and that is learning to be comfortable being financially boring sometimes. The people building serious wealth are often not doing flashy things. They are not making complicated moves. They are doing simple, consistent, unsexy things over and over again with patience that borders on stubborn. Consistency beats intensity every single time in personal finance. The person who saves a modest amount every month for years will almost always come out ahead of the person who tries to make one big move and waits for a windfall that never comes. Boring works, slow works, steady works. And the beautiful irony is that once you embrace boring, your financial life becomes anything but boring. It becomes exciting in the best possible way. Because progress is exciting, safety is exciting, waking up and not immediately dreading your bank account, that is exciting. Let me paint you a picture of what financial peace actually looks like. Because I want you to feel it, not just understand it intellectually. It is a Tuesday morning, nothing special about it, and you wake up without that knot in your chest. You make your coffee, you don't check your account out of anxiety. You check it because you want to see how things are going. There is a difference between those two versions of the same action that is almost impossible to explain but completely impossible to miss when you experience it. That version of your life is not reserved for other people. It is not for people with certain advantages or lucky circumstances. It is available to you. With the right habits built one at a time, consistently, with grace and patience for yourself along the way. You have spent long enough in the version of your life where money is a source of fear. You have paid that cost in sleep, in relationships, in moments of joy you couldn't fully feel because the worry was always there underneath it. That cost is real, and only you know how heavy it has been. The programs linked down below in the video description exist for one reason: to take everything you just heard and build it into a real, practical transformation for your specific life. Not theory, not general advice. Real structure, real results, and real change. The people who have gone through them did not wait until they felt ready, because ready never comes on its own. They decided that the cost of staying the same was finally greater than the cost of changing. If that is where you are right now, stop hesitating and go look. Your future self will not wonder why you started, only why you didn't start sooner.